Hey guys, what's up? It's Juliana and welcome back to That World in Books, or Twibsies. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a Q&A. Typically these things would usually be in like a writing vlog of sorts, but I wanted to dedicate a whole video just to answer your questions over on TikTok. That's where I've been usually asking people to send me their questions. So I'm just going to get them from the apps and videos that I've made and just answer them all in here. I just wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for 500. It's been kind of crazy. I gained like 42 subscribers in a month and I'm just like, are you guys okay? Like, what's going on? I'm just so excited to be making videos. But thank you guys so much. Just a reminder that I am hosting a 500 follower giveaway over on my Instagram when we reach 500 followers. I find that platform's usually the easiest to do giveaways on, so I'm gonna wait for 500 over there. But I really just want to thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. All right, stop with that sappy crap. Let's go over to TikTok, where I will be recording my screen because making screenshots and editing them into Premiere Pro. I just switched over to Premiere Pro from Final Cut. And honestly, I feel like Premiere Pro is more for like those professional videographers and things like that. And Final Cut Pro is more like YouTuber, TikTok video, small video style. So it's kind of easier to use Final Cut. But I've been dealing with Premiere Pro. It's pretty good, but my laptop just overheats. So you're looking right here at my TikTok page. So here we see that I have made some TikToks. Go follow me over at TikTok. And the first video that I have a lot of questions in is this one. Wrote a whole series as a teen check. I'll be answering some questions about that. So let's just scroll through some comments. There's one user whose name is HaleyB.4. You're living my dream life. How did you do it? I've always given up. So one thing I want to make a disclaimer about, my books are self-published. A lot of publishers do not work with teenagers who are under, 18, because, teenagers. Anyway, they don't work with young people. So this is something that I always wanted to do. I've always wanted to write a book, but I didn't really want to wait until later because I feel like that's a little, I don't know, that kind of puts down a lot of children. It's just like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was always that type of child who's like, I don't want to wait until I grew up. I want to, do things now. So my book is self-published. We are in the works to maybe rewrite the whole series and do a whole new, just republish it because we feel like we can do a lot better right now. So we're in that process. We want to rewrite it. We do. We're just figuring out time and if we're going to actually be able to do it. But one thing that always helps us is, gain more exposure on our writing, on our videos, because I did write this with my best friend and she doesn't have a platform. She just really helps me write the books in itself. So, yeah, we're just working hard on gaining exposure, and maybe when we hit a certain milestone, we'll be able to re-release the first book because we know that we can do a lot better now, especially with the experience we have. Kiara Bella Klein asks, oh my gosh, does Barnes & Noble sell them? Yes, they do, but not in stores. It's only online since my book is print on demand, which means they only print the amount of copies that are ordered. So if I want to have them in stores, it'll only be like at select few because I'd have to go around stores in my local area. But definitely if you go down to my description box, there's a link for Barnes & Noble, and yeah, that's where it is. You could get on Barnes & Noble, Book Depository, Amazon and things like that. So this comes from Elizabeth Sidney. So yeah, like I said, my book is self-published, but the book is self-published, and I said that to her because I'm not ashamed of that. I just want people to know, because some people have a bad look on that. But she continued to ask, I have one question: how do you find motivation to write? I love writing while I'm doing it, but it's really hard for me to get started. So that's a problem I really did have with the series. Right now I'm on to my second book, which is probably just gonna be like a normal novel. And this one I'm writing completely on my own, so I don't have the support of a best friend or co-author to help me. But number one tip is to outline. I keep saying this all the time in my comments, but what does outlining do? Before you even start writing, like, you don't have to be a complete outliner. Because I know that when I write my outline, sometimes I go off the rail when I'm actually writing, but outlining puts into place everything that you want to write down. So before you even start writing, you write down all the scenes, like maybe by chapter. Everybody has a different form to outline. It just puts into place what you're writing before you actually sit down and start writing, so that when you sit down and start writing, you don't feel unmotivated to not write because you don't know what you're writing about. I don't know if that makes sense, but that really helps me just want to get excited. If I don't want to write that day, maybe I'll go to I don't immediately give up. I usually go over to my outline, I read what I want, and a big tip is don't be afraid to skip. There's no problem in skipping around. If you don't want to write this one scene, but you're really excited to write this scene, just like put some ellipses or something, or just write a general thing like character number one does this to character number two gets offended, they get into a fight, and boom, go write the fight scene. You don't need to do that. You can always come back later. I do that a lot and it actually works. So that's outline, skip, and third motivation is to find videos like writing vlogs on YouTube. I personally like to make those. I made 4 writing vlogs back in 2018. That was for NaNoWriMo 2018 that I then stopped for 2 years, and writing vlog number 5 is now updated in 2020. I think it was like 4 videos ago. But usually writing vlogs really help to get me in the mood, especially with their music and things like that. Have different playlists. Watch some writing vlogs before you write, or even while you write, watch some writing vlogs if you can do that. All of those things join together to get me motivated. Frenchy Fry says, I really love writing too. Same girl. What do you use to type your stories, and roughly how many pages are your drafts? So usually if I'm writing with somebody else, that's going to be written on Google Docs. But if I'm writing on my own, I really enjoy using Word because, I don't know, something about the layout is just satisfying. I try to use Scrivener, but I don't know. I feel like that was too complicated for me. I did not need all those folders and pages and different layouts that they have on Scrivener. Not bashing anybody who does use it. It was just not for me. I prefer just a simple typing document. Roughly how many pages are your drafts? I don't know about pages. If you're talking about word count, usually a lot of my first drafts like cap out at like 50,000, 55,000, but it just depends on the type of book I'm writing. For example, the science fiction series for, Hidden Dimensions, the first book was supposed to be kind of like a novella type of thing just to get everything started. So that one is not big at all. It probably falls into the shorter fiction category. I think it caps out around 30K, and that's not a lot at all. This book you could probably get done within like, I don't know, less than 3 hours. But that's one of the things we want to rewrite about it. We do, like I'm saying, the book is not the best, so that's why we are going to think about rewriting it. Second book, it was around, like 55,000, and that already bumped it up. And then the third book, Hidden Legacies, that capped around 60,000 words. So it all depends. My book that I'm going to write right now, I'm trying to get it at about 80,000 words. And I'm just gonna see how it goes. So Asha Adarin says, I'm trying to any tips? It's so hard. Like I said, outline, skip, and writing motivation. Also, something that a lot of people talk about is your idea. It took me a while to settle upon so many ideas before I actually settled upon one that I'm actually excited to write about, because there's a difference between, oh, I had a dream about this, and oh, I walked around and what if this happened, and you start thinking about it. But either you continue to explore that idea in depth, or you're just like, oh, that would be a cool book idea, but I don't know how to go about doing it. So it's just the matter of, are you willing to put some imagination into it and actually think it out? Because a lot of a book idea, you have to, unfortunately, you have to outline, you have to do some sort of plot before you start writing. Are you going to figure out what happens in your book? What do you want to happen in your book? So before you start writing, that's the number one thing you need to think about. Okay, so Noodle ... Jack says, that's crazy. When did you start? So we started in freshman year, I believe, in geometry class, when we were just thinking about this one idea that, I say we because, like I said, it's my co-author Alyssa and I. What's it called? We just started thinking about different ideas that we used to have, because we started writing a story just for fun in 8th grade, I believe, and we just didn't continue it because it sounded too much like another book that we were reading, so we gave up on it. But then geometry class started, and Alyssa and I, we finished our work early most of the days because the class was pretty easy. So we like to just fantasize about a lot of things. So we just started thinking, what if this happened? What if this happened? What if we have 6 different schools for 6 different types of people? And that's basically how it started. Shout out to Juliana_Alexa_S for having basically the same name as I do, but hers is spelled with a J. Mine is a Giuliana. Okay, so Juliana_Alexa_S. Hey girl. I lost motivations to finish it. Like I said, have a solid idea line for before you start writing. And if you're in the middle of writing, that's fine. Go back, look at your outline, look at what you have written down. Or if you don't have an outline, maybe this is a chance for you to start writing an outline. It's okay to start the book all the way over again. I know it sounds scary because maybe you're at like 30,000 words, 45,000 words, but that's fine. Just like maybe start at the point that you stopped writing the first draft on. Writing is all about rewriting and thinking again, because maybe you have a whole book written and you're just like, wait, this would be a really cool idea to intro it. Then you have to go all the way to the beginning and change it all the way over. Don't be afraid to outline. What are your tips for writing as a teenager? So these are the last 2 questions people left. So what are your tips for writing as a teenager? I know that as teenagers, we do have a lot of work to get done between school and maybe having to help out at home, taking care of siblings, working out to help support our family. I believe in like hard work. I don't believe in getting a lot of things easy done to you, especially when people come to me with like easy plans and things like that. That gives me a lot of anxiety. I don't like easy plans. I believe that if you work hard for something, it's going to pay off in the end. And this is another thing that puts into place writing as a teenager. We started writing this in freshman year. We had a lot of roadblocks, if that was it, because of schoolwork and things like that, and just work at home, and we were really busy. But my number 1 tip is to set writing goals. If you aren't planning on self-publishing, if you don't have any deadlines, maybe set a quota for yourself for the month or for 2 weeks. We personally, I think we did like 500 words each every day, with some breaks in between, so that we can finish our deadline. And we found that worked best for me. And another tip is to find time where you don't usually find time. Like for me, I'm not a morning person, but if I need to get up to work, that's another thing with me. Like if I just have to get up just to get up, I don't like waking up. But if I wake up with the intent to work on something or to film a video or to work out or to open my laptop and just start working on schoolwork, that's something I can do. So that's the time I found where I thought I had no time, where I went to sleep earlier and woke up earlier in the morning before school to start writing. So find time where you usually don't think you have any. And as a teenager, don't pressure yourself to make the best book you can make right now. That's what rewriting is for. That's what school is for. That's what learning your grammatical errors in school is for. Reading books. Use your time to expand on your knowledge about books, because you're not, no matter like how much of a prodigy you are at school, your first book, your first draft is not going to be the best thing. And that was from Abigail Stewart 08 and from Stephanie _ that's an LH. How long did it take you to write? So usually writing, it took us like about a month to 45 days for each book. That's the first draft. Because especially since I have a co-author, it was easier to do. But my book here, if I sat down for my new book, for my new novel that I'm writing, if I sat down for a month and I got like 1,000 words done each day, I'd be good. Because right now I'm at 30,000 words. Another 30,000 words. Honestly, a month to 45 days, personally for me, is where I fit in. A lot of people take, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to write a first draft. But I like setting tight deadlines for me because it gets my brain thinking. And for me, if I put too much time to write, I start overthinking it and I don't want to get it done. So usually the first draft takes around a month to 45 days. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Guys, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. I respond to every single comment. And make sure to leave your questions down there, but down there too. I'll try to make more videos answering your questions. And basically that's it. Once again, thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. This is crazy to me. And I'll see you guys in next week's video.